We welcome to the program Betsy Hamilton, Mississippi Department of Archives and History board member and volunteer extraordinaire. Betsy is how you are described here on the lineup sheet.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome. So we got the Tallahatchie River Festival coming up, and I know you have a tremendous interest and have been very active in all things history in the state of Mississippi. But you were just showing me this, we'll wait for the truck to pass by here. You were showing me this conceptual plan, right, for the Little Tallahatchie Riverway Parks. Tell us about that.
Oh, I am excited to tell you about this because it's going to be awesome. But in 2019, we were able to apply for and receive a grant from National Park Service for their Rivers Trails Conservation Assistance Program. And what that did was there was no funding for that, but we did receive consultant and landscape designer to walk us through a conceptual plan for developing the Little Tallahatchie River. We refer to it, as we're doing today, the Tallahatchie Riverfest, and so it's actually the Little Tallahatchie River.
Oh, okay. Why little?
Well, those are the maps, because it's little here.
Okay, I gotcha.
But in our latest comprehensive plan, the river, because it runs through our city, we have no really access to it, no recreational opportunities, and so that was one thing that really came out of the comprehensive plan.
Okay.
And so that's how the National Park Service walked us through and helped us develop a conceptual plan for activity that could, in fact, just do a half of a circle around New Albany from Highway 15 through town, past the interstate, and so that's what we are working on.
Okay, so what all will be included in this park?
Well, it's going to be like a riverway, greenway, blueway, water recreation. It could open up opportunities for kayaking and whatever those boards are that you get on and just...
Like surfboards sort of stuff?
Well, I know we can kayak and canoe.
Okay.
So...
Water sports, how about that?
Water sports have access to it. And then a lot of history related to it. Last year, our leadership class, Leadership Union County, emerging leaders, young adults, adopted the city's park along the river, which is the city, our central city park right now, which is 35 years old and needs a little spiffing up. New structures. They adopted the park along the river as their class project.
Okay.
And so that is kind of our main focus, because that would be the nucleus, because the city already owns that, and we need to work with river frontage property owners to get more property.
Gotcha.
So with that in mind, we are focused on completely renovating the park along the river.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, has this been in the works a while?
Since the National Park Service, we received the plan in 2021.
Okay.
And so we've been in conversations, but because the leadership class wanted to take this on, then we are really beginning to dig in, and we are working on a nature-themed playground that will encompass structures for all ages, just abilities, and educational, conservation-oriented, getting children into outdoors and informing them or introducing them to nature-oriented aspects
Sure.
is awesome. Plus the recreation, you know.
So, speaking of history, because
Okay.
you're a history person and involved with the
Well, I'm
Department
really
of
not.
Archives and History.
I never was a history person until I got to New Albany.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about. I mean, we're right in the thick of what is really a whole lot of Mississippi history right here.
Yes.
Well, we got William Faulkner.
We got William Faulkner.
Got the museum.
Yes, we have the museum.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got interested.
Okay.
I was walking downtown one day and there was a little cafe. It was called Cotton Street Fountain. This used to be Cotton Street right here.
Okay.
And walked in there and somebody said, "You're not going to believe who was in town today." And I said, "Who?" It said, "There were some Japanese here and they wondered where Faulkner's birthplace was."
Okay.
And I said, "Really?"
That's pretty cool.
So that kind of started it, my interest in it. And then, of course, New Albany had its sesquicentennial, and then we just began to think about all the objects that had been displayed,
Yeah.
and what were we going to do with them.
Yeah.
But not only do we, so that's how the museum started.
Okay.
But not only do we have Faulkner, but, you know, preceding Faulkner, we had a guy named Hernando de Soto.
Yeah.
We also have Meriwether Lewis,
Okay.
which few people know that we have this river that's called the Tallahatchie, or
Right.
the Little Tallahatchie.
Gotcha.
And he crossed it somewhere. We used to have, we do have a boulder and a sign that designates that this is where Hernando de Soto crossed.
Okay.
We've moved it several times, so right now it's at the park along the river. But so yes, and we are right in the middle of the Chickasaw homeland.
Right.
So we do have lots of wonderful, you know, historical tidbits to share.
So do you feel like history buffs actually come to New Albany, and in particular the River Festival, because of the history in the area?
Well, we also have the William Faulkner Literary Fest,
Right.
and we have submissions for novels, short stories.
Yeah.
And we've had plays, we've had poems.
Okay.
So we will award, we've had applications from all over. Probably just the biggest, the most this year.
Wow.
And about a half a dozen or more foreign countries.
Huh.
So, yes, they will come. Some of them will come to receive their award, and so they'll be in town tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we give those tomorrow.
So do you work with the city leaders as well, Betsy, in your role? Do you work with the mayor, the alderman,
Yes,
the supervisor?
everyone. I've since I've been here,
Okay.
I've worked with, I think, 4 or 5 mayors.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I hope we get along beautifully because we've been able to accomplish a lot.
No,
And
so that's the case.
yes.
With the success of certainly of the festival and just the overall success of the city and the county itself. You've been an
Everybody's
integral role in that.
everybody has, really chipped in. We've got a great group of wonderful volunteers in this town, and good leaders, and moving forward.
Yeah.
We've had new branding, and New Albany's always moving.
Always moving.
Always moving.
Well,
you see it, don't you?
Because judging from all the
Yes,
vehicles up and down the street, I definitely
we're
agree.
always
It's
moving.
And the train every now
Yep.
and then, too. This will be, and we're right here on the Tanglefoot Trail, which has tremendous historical significance.
Love the Tanglefoot Trail. It was the Chickasaw Trail.
Ain't that so cool?
Yes.
So much of
At
that
one
sort
point.
of history in the state of Mississippi. It is kind of just intriguing to think about. I mean, where we're placed here, where we're sitting right now, has so much history behind it, and so many of our ancestors and others that came long before us occupied this area.
Well, you're actually sitting on old Colonel Faulkner's railroad.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's why Faulkner was born in New Albany.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because his father was the station master at up there. See that
Yeah.
That white truck up there, that's about where it was.
Very cool. Thank you for that. I didn't know that.
And the Tanglefoot was one of the work engines that helped build the trail. They helped build the railroad.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Glad to know that. You know that kind of stuff. I told you you're a history person. Betsy Hamilton with the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. And volunteer extraordinaire has been our guest here on Midday.